In today's video, we're going to see how we can perform dynamic routing. Dynamic routing is done with the help of different routing protocols, and today's routing protocol is RIP, which is short for Routing Information Protocol. RIP has two IPv4 versions called RIP version 1 and version 2. Uh, there are subtle differences between RIP version 1 and version 2, which you can study in detail on the internet. But to keep it short, RIP is a classical protocol. It does not support subnetting in simpler terms, and RIP version 2 supports classful and classless both uh, networks. Okay, so if we have subnetted networks, we should uh, use RIP version 2, not RIP version 1. Okay, but RIP has also a limitation that it can only be used for smaller networks because it has a limit of 15 hop counts. Okay, and as we saw in our previous videos, hop count is whenever we cross a router that is considered as a hop. Okay, so if a packet crosses 15 routers, it would be okay. But if the routers become more than 15, the routes would be invalidated. Okay, so RIP should be used in smaller networks, not bigger networks. In our previous video, we saw how we can perform static routing. And in static routing, what we have to do is we have to keep account of all the networks that are under our control. Okay, so in that video we used 5 networks with network IDs 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. But what if it goes to 5 or 50 networks? Okay, so we cannot keep track of all the networks that uh, are in our network or in our control. So, and since we're talking about a WAN environment, because we simulated a WAN environment, and in simpler terms, the internet environment. So on internet, as we know, that there are a lot of network IDs that are under play. So it's better to use dynamic routing with the help of a protocol, because in that scenario we don't have to keep track of all the networks. We just have to keep track of our own networks, and we just advertise our own networks, and the routers that are using the same version, the same protocol, they exchange routing updates with each other, and whatever networks are missing, they are added to the routing table. Okay, so whenever we are dealing with an internet environment or WAN environment, dynamic routing helps. And if uh, we are to talk about dynamic routing, let's consider the network diagram that we used previously. And in that diagram, this was location A, B and C, 3 routers, and these PCs were representing the LAN environment or the LAN PCs. Okay, so let's try to do some configurations. For example, let's jump to enable mode and see which configurations are there. These configurations are the base configuration that we did previously, so there is no change in them. The same network IDs are here, but we will be using RIP to propagate our routing tables to other routers. Okay, and let's see how we can do that. So what we have to do is, so let's just first check the routing table right now, and as you can see, it only shows the directly connected. Okay, so let's go to the global configuration mode, And now write router rip. Okay, rip is the protocol. So the next thing, first you have to activate the protocol, and the next thing is to advertise our networks. Okay, our own networks. Now in this scenario we don't have to figure out which networks are missing. Okay, we don't need to do that. The protocol will do that for us. Okay, when the updates will be exchanged. Okay, so the keyword to advertise our network is network keyword, and then we just have to provide the network ID. Okay, the network ID should just be provided, and that's it. This is how the network will be advertised, and same goes for 20, because we have 10 and 20. These are the two networks that we have on this router. Okay, the location A router. So we just advertise this one. Okay, so let's exit, and that's all, and write and show IP arrow. There won't be any change because right now only location A router is using RIP and no other router is using any protocol, so there won't be any exchange. So let's go down to the second router, enable, configure terminal. So let's just see which sorry to show IP arrow. Okay, so to confirm which routes are directly connected. So these are 20, 30 and 40, so we're missing 10 and 50. So router rip to activate, and then network keyword, and then the network ID. Okay, so 20, and you can also use shortcut. Okay, if you only use net, that can also work. Okay, net 30 and net 40. So same way, we just have to advertise our own networks. We don't have to keep account which networks are missing. That will be done via the protocol. Okay, so let's check if there is. So there you go. Because we have now two routers that are running RIP, there are exchanges made over. Okay, so that's how the exchange is done. So let's check for show PRO on A, and here two networks were exchanged. Okay, because 10 and 20 was here, but 30 and 40 was missing, which were exchanged by B because these are directly connected here. So from A, 10 was exchanged, and from B, 30 and 40 were exchanged. So let's go for the third one, enable, configure terminal, and let's activate outer rip and net. So let's apply to show IP arrow first, so you can see that 40 and 50 are the routes that we have to advertise. So net 192.168.40.0. So you have to apply do before the show commands if you are not in enabled mode. Okay, so that's why I'm using do, because I'm not in enable mode, but I want to use the enable mode command, so that's why I'm using do before my commands. So let's do for the 50, and hopefully that's all. And if you see, all the routes are here now. We have 5 network IDs, and 5 network IDs are present here. 3 were provided by RIP. Okay, this is the R symbol is used for RIP. Here you can see that this is the code for RIP. Okay, so let's verify on the second one. There you go. Here you have 2 routes provided by RIP, and the first one again 3 routes provided by RIP. Okay, these 3. That's how you can do dynamic routing using RIP version 1. So if we want to use RIP version 2, there isn't much difference. So first let's go to and apply no router RIP. Okay, and show IPRO. So it's back to this original. I'm going to do the same for the others. Now router RIP to deactivate and configure terminal and no router RIP. Okay, we don't have to do that. We can just go to router RIP and apply the other commands, but I am just doing this so you can know how you can deactivate a protocol. Okay, that's why I'm showing you this. Otherwise we can just go to router RIP and apply the additional commands that are used to upgrade from router version 1 to router version 2. But it's recommended that if you are using subnetted networks, you should go towards version 2 from the start. Okay, that's a recommended thing. So you should plan out first which version or which protocol you're going to use, and then do appropriate actions after that. Okay, so for example, if we are going to use RIP version 2, the same way we're going to activate RIP, then we have to give the command version 2. Okay, and then another command, no auto summary, is also recommended if you are using subnetted networks. If you are using classful addresses, then there is no need for that. But if you are using classless, then you should and you must apply this command. Okay, and then again you have to provide advertisements, net and 192.168.10.0 and 20.0. Okay, there you go. Write command and show IPRO. Right now there won't be any change because we have to do the same on all the other routers. So let's go router RIP version 2, no auto summary, and net 192.168.30.0, 40.0 and 50.0. Okay, so these were the 40, no sorry, 20, 30 and 40. Sorry, I used the wrong one. So no net 192.168.50.0, cancel out the previous one, and net 20.0. Okay, so write show IPRO. So there you go, the same way. Right now only one was exchanged from me. So router RIP version 2. Now I'm using shortcuts, no auto, but no auto summary, net 192.168.40.0, and the other one is 50.0. Write the configuration and let's verify our results. So there you go, now it's using RIP version 2. So let's verify the routing table again. There you go, 2 routes, and on A we should have 3 routes. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so let's check our ping from one end to the other. So ping 192.168.50.100, and if there isn't any other mistake, yeah, there you go. So first reply could be timed out because there isn't any precedence, but since we have done ping once, now there won't be any loss. Okay, so whenever we ping for the first time, there may be a packet loss, like this one, a single packet loss. Okay, so that's how you can do dynamic routing using RIP, and how can you use RIP version 1 and RIP version 2. So until next time, take care.